be able to show you how to add a turnout into an existing track. In this case, I'm trying to add extra tracks for storage or whatever develops as I develop this track plan. So I'm going to put at least one parallel track to this and then add in the rest of that crossover in order to make this more functional. So the first thing I did was I marked out a center line about 1.25 inches from the center line of the existing track that I want to be parallel to. Gave it enough distance so that I could lay a turnout with straight track attached to establish where exactly the turnout would fall in this section here. So I have this turnout, which is a number 4, with some straight track added on, and I'm going to line up the straight track with the center line of the track and then slide it along until we reach the rails of the turnout. Make sure you line it up again until the rails of the turnout match. That is what we want right there. That will give you the location for the turnout. Next step is a pair of rail nippers, Zuron, available at multiple outlets. Really good product. Slide it up right against the end of the turnout. Cut. Same thing here on this side. So that leaves a little section in there. And we do the same thing at the other end. And pull that off so I can get in there better. Alright. Not enough room to get the rail cutters in there. Start with this side. And then go back to the other side. Okay, now we have our piece of rail. Now, since I've been using pins on this Code 80 flex track, it's pretty easy to just pull them out. And take our section out. And we put our turnout in, test fit, make sure. Okay. So here's where I might have slid a little bit. Doesn't exactly fit. I don't know if you can see this end here. It doesn't exactly fit in there. That far rail, the near rail, is a pretty close fit. So this far rail, slide the cutter in against the end, and not enough meat left on the end of the rail for that. So then we're going to go to the file. So what I'm going to start with piece of cardboard. A little bit of blue tape, something that's easy to take off. And then just go ahead and file this flat. So you want your rail joiners to slide on about halfway. Well, they can't because the tie's in the way. So what I've done in the past is just take a very thin blade, like a zona saw, sliding it on the bottom of the rail, supporting the tie underneath. Takes a little bit, but what this does, you take a little bit of the thickness of the tie, keeps the rail joiner from pushing the rail up. There we have a little sliver that pops out. The rail joiner will slide on and slide over the tie. Okay, we'll put our rail joiners back on. Do a little cleanup in there. So over here, it's going to be a little tough to get that saw in there. So there's other options, one of which would be to pull a few of the track pins out, which I think that's going to be the easiest way through this one. Now, those track pins should go right back into that spot. So on this other side, what we need to do is I'm going to put insulated rail joiners in there. Isolate all of this, turnouts here, and then be able to shut off this so that when I run on DC only, or if I want to just stop a train and not have the sound on, or if I want to use that as a track to put an engine on without shorting things out, I can turn that off, get the engine set up, and then turn the power on. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is remove that end tie. Okay, so this is kind of a toss-up. I could try and cut that tie down enough to allow for the thickness of the rail joiner, which is, I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty thick. If you've ever used them, you'll know. Or I'm just going to cut the tie off very carefully Since my finger's right there, I'm not going to slide off the end, I don't think. There's one. Break it off the other side. So now I have that. Slide my insulated joiner on there. And then I'll take the turnout. I like to start from this end because it's with the plastic joiners on there, you can't slide the metal ones. You can't slide them anywhere else. So I'll do that. And I'll just kind of swing this out like this. So there we have the turnout in place. Kind of a sloppy job so far, but I think you get the gist. Line this up on the center line. Put a track pin in there. Put a track pin in there. Do want to do sight along that curve and make sure there's no kinks. So that one looks pretty good right now. There's the pins. Okay, so got that installed. I added a little straight track to test. Put a Caboose Industries ground throw on here. Took my Bright Boy abrasive block. Went through it thoroughly. And now we'll test it out. that's how it works. Nice way to insert a turnout into an existing track. Now if you have glued down track, that's going to be a different story, and I'll try and go into that another time as I do redo some other parts of this layout, or once I get into my new layout, if I ever do. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.